Okay, so you're going to have to read the book and really learn about this. So basically, I told you that Africa is the poorest region in the world because it's the most overregulated region in the world. Then people are like, how do you solve that, Meg? How do you solve that? Especially with these leaders that don't care about anything or care about no one. This is how we're going to do it. Think about this whole thing, like here, it's the country, right? Right now, so it's the country. Imagine, so you think about the piece of land, the land as your computer. It's the hardware. And then think about the laws and regulations that rule this area. And you see, the funny thing about laws or regulations is you don't see it. So it's really hard. What I'm trying to explain is really hard because you don't see it. But everything around us it's about laws and regulations, right? So then now think about the law and regulation that it runs on as the software that it runs on. And who wants to run on crappy software? No one. Except that African nations are the ones who run on the crappiest software when it comes to business. So we have a worse business environment. So we got to change this. But the problem is, the country is how it is now. Many people have entrenched interest. The people who have friends in government, all of that, they have these big businesses. They're doing so well. Everybody's great. And you have some of these jobs like the notaries. They're not going to let go. The notaries are like lawyers in Africa, in my part of Africa. You know, they have to sign all your documents and everything. A signature could be, you may have to pay $100 per signature, and then you need maybe 15 signatures to get one document going through. It's a nightmare. So of course, do you know what you do? You pay a bribe, so you don't have to pay the stupid price, and you move on. And usually that's what they prefer anyway. They're like, they don't want your $100 that's going to go into the country's pocket. They want you to actually give in and pay them a bribe. That's, let's say you have to pay $100, then they're waiting for you $10. For you, it works. Only $10 instead of 100. For them, it goes straight into their pocket. Everybody wins. Go home. But if I want to change all of these laws, by the way, they're going to be the first one to fight you. Because if a law goes away, you have to pay $0. Why would you pay them $10? You see? So even the corruption, people are like, corruption. Even corruption is a result of bad laws. If we didn't have all of these stupid, crazy laws, I move on and I do my thing, and they have nothing to stop me for. So it would be really hard to try to touch anything at this level, at the country level. You do that, everybody fights you, president might even be killed, who knows? So what you do instead is you say, okay, this is a country, but I'm going to go here where there is nobody. This is the countryside. They're all here. They're all here in the big city. That's where everything is happening. This is the countryside. There's nothing. People are just like, whatever, they leave the old people and the kids there. And then everybody's here trying to make money and sending money back home, here, whatever. So you take this area here where, almost nobody living there. And here you work with the government to say, on this plot of land, ideally city size, we're going to create an area that has its own law and governance as well as its own custom regulatory systems. So right here, we're going to offer people an area where they come and they get to have the best business environment in the world, as good as Singapore or Denmark, or if not better. And we know that when you do that, capital and talent always follows. Why do I say that? Singapore, Dubai, Hong Kong, South Korea, Taiwan, the Asian tigers, basically. And then even communist China had to do the same thing. They did it in the form of the SEZs, special economic zones that happen to be among the most free market zones in the world. Even them, when they were tired of being poor and disrespected, they're like, we got to do something. Even them, communist China. That's what they did. They did Shenzhen, they did multiple different like that. And within a very short amount of time, 800 million Chinese lifted out of poverty just like that. Anytime we do this, do you know by the time you guys how long it takes for you to see the magic and the difference happen? 25 years. Within 10 years, you're starting to see things. 12 years, you're starting to see things. But by year 25, you're just like, yeah, day and night, we're done, we made it. It can happen in our lifetime, people. And so right now, I'm very happy to announce that a year ago, I started promoting these in Africa to specific governments. At first, I remember the first government, I was literally doing the dance, jumping through hoops, really trying to get them to accept this idea. But as of now, we have 4 nations now that are competing for us to go do that. And you see, the reason why I'm so bullish on Africa, the reason why I'm so full of hope for Africa, the reason why I believe in us so much, and I believe that not only are we going to forget the time for catching up, it's over, we're going to leapfrog. The reason why I feel this way, and I can talk to you about it with a straight face, is because we know the power of this. It's worked anywhere it's been tried. It doesn't matter which culture you start from. It doesn't matter if you've been colonized before or not colonized before. It doesn't matter how much trauma you carry. It doesn't matter any of that stuff. You put it in place. It's been a universal truth. The magic starts to happen. And then from there, if this one city happens, you see, we don't have for all of 54 African nations, 55 depending on how you count, to make it. All I need is one of these countries to get it, allow me to do one of these cities somewhere, it works, and then you know what happens. Everybody else copies. And then voila, my friends. Poverty, sayonara. Done. Now, as somebody told me, now people, if they're going to immigrate because of taste and not because of hunger. This stuff is powerful. And if you ever want to question, think about South Korea, North Korea. One decided to use this software, the other one decided to stay on the crappy software. You see the result. Eastern Germany, Western Germany back in the days. One decided to use this software, the other one decided not to use this software. You saw the result back then, before they reunited again. Singapore, before it had a very crappy software, decided to run this software. Singapore today is richer than its colonizer, Great Britain, and so on and so forth. Everywhere it's been tried. You can have people who are the same people, South Korea, North Korea, the same people, ending up in a very different place. Dubai, very different from West Germany. Yet, when they run the same software, they end up in the same place. So, what's not universal about this? What is not